If you've ever felt like the third wheel, this podcast is for you.
If you love Wheel of Time, this podcast is for you.
If you're bored and have nothing better to do, this podcast is for you.
Join Rob,
Megan,
And Jen
in celebrating the Wheel of Time
and its statistically best fandom
and ridiculous gaming skills,
and probably a few cocktails.
and find out which one of them will be the third wheel this time.
This is
three-wheeling.
Hey.
Hello!
Hello! Yes, for those that weren't able to get that cut, because I do trim out when we talk during the intro, I shocked the ladies during the intro because Jen was there plaiting her hair, and I was like, oh yeah, I cut all mine off. I took my hat off, and
it's all gone.
Yeah, it's all gone. I needed a haircut. I'm trying to save money because I'm currently unemployed. And I was like, well, the hair clippers are the way to go for that case.
Troy's never paid for a haircut. He's always just used hair clippers and shaved his head. Always.
I've done it. I did it during COVID a lot. I had them anyway. I don't even know why I got them. I got them for something one time. And then I was just like, during COVID, just cutting my hair off. I was like, why? It was really hot summer here. So I was like, why bother otherwise? Mm-hmm. And then, yeah. I was like, I got them back out. Yeah. And that's
Love it.
That's a weird intro to the podcast, but welcome to Three Wheeling listeners. It was Jen in the intro was plaiting her hair, and I was just thinking, that's really long. And I'm like, oh yeah, mine's really short now. So,
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
As also, I'm hiding my braids, my plaits. I'm hiding them now because I did two and I look like a child. And I'm like, I'm not going for the Egwene look today. I'm actually going to try to be an adult and a grown up. I'm taking them out right now.
No, you just put them in.
No, don't take them out.
They're coming out. They're coming out.
Wow.
Yep. This is the problem with us doing a podcast that actually has video in front of us, because I'm like a parrot and I see myself in the camera and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but it's only the patrons who get the video access. So
yes, exactly. Yeah. And then me, and I get to obsess over like staring at myself.
Well, if I've learned anything over the 2 years we've been doing this, ladies.
Wow!
Yeah,
congratulations.
Yesterday, based on when we're recording, not on when this episode comes out, it was 2 years ago yesterday that we released our very first episode.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
To us.
It's very, very cool. And here we go. We have like video recording now, and we have T-shirts with our logos on them, or our personal, sort of
our standard bearers or whatever.
Our standard bearers, yeah. It's been a cool couple of years. So I'm hope it's many more years.
Me too.
Me too.
Good. So how are you two doing? Are you ready to get into? I don't think there's really been any news aside from the fact that it's been it's also been a year since season 3 came out, but I don't want to bring us down.
No.
I know.
I mean, no.
I know.
News,
Rosamund posted a really.
Yeah.
Rosamund posted a costume, a shout out for Sharon.
I did see that.
For the virtual tour.
Did. Yeah.
And honestly, so she just posted a little video of most of it's the spinning camera, about half of it's the spinning camera.
Right.
And is she running it slower? It's slower. I feel like it's slower than in the show, because I feel like I could see things better. I mean, I can always slow down the show and pause it, but I felt like I could get the information of one of it's the really fast flash of a dream, which I think worked well in the show. I think in the show it was nice to be like, what did I just see? What did I just see? What did I just see? But I was like, oh, I really can see her facial expression as she's attacking Rand. Why are you laughing at me, Rob?
Because you're
sorry. Because I know that it wasn't just me, because Meg was so. And then I looked at Meg, and Meg was like, "Yeah, nodding." So you went to say something, and for about 3-4 seconds, it was you said,
"What?"
Yeah,
it sounded like a dub, a remix or something, a dubstep remix.
Oh, I hope it picks up in the record. That's hilarious. Wait, earlier when you were talking, Rob, before we started the podcast, you
Right.
cut out a couple of times. So I wonder if did you hear that, Megan, or no?
No, I did not.
It was probably just me then. So like, I think my system is messed up. I don't know why.
To be fair, like the uploading, we're really digressing for a second here, folks. I probably will cut this out. I probably won't. There's an uploading constant sort of like thing at the top of the screen telling me that because it records locally and then uploads to the cloud, so that we each have, if something pops out or we drop out, it just because of the internet sending it to each other, the local recording obviously captures that properly and then uploads it, so we don't lose that. But yeah, initially that was like really struggling, so perhaps there was a connection issue. But it's like full Mac.
What? Sorry,
Yeah.
no, I'm just faking it.
If it didn't keep it in the local recording, that's what it sounded like earlier, folks. So, but yeah, no, it is slower. You're right. I think they probably just took, because that's a mishmash of footage. So they probably just,
it is.
She probably said to one of her people in the team, being like, "Hey, I want to do something for Sharon. Put together, some clips from this, some clips from that, and whoever edited it probably just slowed it down a little so you can see more detail."
Yeah. So, and you can really see the costumes to see what's going on.
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
and I got sad again.
It was really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got sad too, but it was enjoyable to watch those scenes run a little slower, because I was like, ooh, yeah,
it really was. I think I'm due a rewatch of the series. Like, I can't remember the last time I watched season 1, let alone rewatch season 3.
Colleen and I still almost get together and watch it weekly.
Yeah,
are you serious?
That's so awesome.
Aww.
Did you just get
yeah, so we just finished.
Did you just go back?
Yeah, so we finished season 1 recently, and we're in. I think we only did first episode of season 2, but yeah, just we go through and then we restart.
Watch one episode a week.
And I've said to her too. I'm like, okay, like, I know I love it, and sometimes I feel like you're humoring me. And she was like, I have never humored you in our 30+ years of knowing each other.
That is not a lie. I was like, she didn't want to do it. She's going to be like, fuck no, I don't want to do this. Like, she's not going to, no. I mean, she loves you. She'll do anything for you. But also, she wouldn't be like, let's do this thing if she didn't.
And you go to each other's houses like every week and do this?
Yes, well, she always comes over to my house because it's just easier with the kids and whatever. But, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I make popcorn and we watch.
All right, official call out now for someone to come to my house once a week and watch Wheel of Time with me.
Yay!
All right, just an episode, and then we can watch an episode of Wheel of Time and then an episode of something else. So we can work through like a just constant repeats of Wheel of Time, but then other shows as well. Just over there we go. Shout out for that, folks. Mm-hmm. Come join me. It's gotta like cats, and I'll cook, or make food, or just, we'll figure it out.
On my way. I would
love that. I would honestly love that. So, I got not much else to do but time currently. Although I do have a call back on Monday for something. So.
Which I'm starting to be like, good. Why haven't I thought about hooking up you and Colleen before? You both love cats.
That was not at all where I thought that was going to go for a second.
I was like, wait, why hasn't this percolated in my brain yet? And I was like, wait.
Rob, you can cut this.
I had a wonderful segue up to drinking there. Because I was like, I'll cook and make food or get drinks. Hey, speaking of drinks, and then Meg totally just percolated a setup.
I was totally I wasn't listening to anything you were saying. My mind was making all these connections, and I was like, wait, why haven't we done this?
Oh my God, I love this.
Jen, I really think it's time to ask a question.
What are you going to ask, Rob?
I think it's time to ask. What's Meg drinking?
Now, the way I'm going to say this is going to sound really dirty, I think. But
nothing you ever say is dirty, Meg, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Meg is drinking the Daughter of the Night, and I'm trying to show you. Can you see how I tried to do her chapter logo on the top?
Oh.
I tried to do the moon and then the little dots for the stars.
With the stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool.
So this was my backup Forsaken cocktail that I always had in my back pocket when I couldn't think of anything else. Because it's been a week, so I didn't have time to be creative.
That makes you sound like you're terribly ill-prepared all the time when you're actually a really organized,
the most
thinking
prepared
person. So,
Yes.
you know, like to say like, oh, this is for one when everything, no, like most people don't even have the one in the back pocket. They don't even have half an idea in the back pocket, Meg. So don't knock yourself there.
Okay.
So,
well, because
think
it's
that's
not
the first
very
time I've got your
creative
names wrong.
because it is just the traditional white lady cocktail is what it's called. So it's a white lady, and she is the white lady. So there's
The
white,
lady.
and then
She's the white,
you know
yeah.
it's got the like silvery tones, and so it is. So in a
Nice,
shaker with
nice.
no ice, you're pouring 2 ounces of gin, and I used, and I'll tag them in the video, our local distillery out of Ferndale that has a tasting room in Farmington, Lone Light Spirits.
Nice.
So I used their 2
nice.
It's called
Lone
what?
Lights Spirits. This
Oh,
is
I like
the
that.
one
That's a
where
nice
I'm
name.
a member. I'm part of their VIP club. So I'm going to cover my last
Now I'm
name.
very shocked.
But yes, so I'm a member of their VIP club. So I have a coaster with my name on it and my number, and I have one at the tasting room as well. And then I get discounts and whatever. Anyway, what?
Megan, I'm stopping you. You said that what's the way that influencers hold their makeup things? You did not hold that coaster correctly.
I know
Where'd
I
you go?
refuse
no,
to
she
do
was
that.
trying to-
I won't do it.
What? What am I? What am I?
That's
I thought
it.
you held it that way to hide your
don't
name
know.
and number.
Oh.
Oh, the hand.
maybe
thing.
she did.
Oh, all right.
Is your name
okay.
and number on that?
My last
Yes,
name is
apparently
on
her
it.
name. Right.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I'm sorry. I didn't realize what you
No,
were doing.
that's
Okay,
why I
never
was
mind.
doing it.
Sorry.
Anyway.
doxing, sister doxing.
Yeah, Jen, you dox yourself enough. We'll
I do.
be fine if we don't do that anymore. So,
I do. I need to stop. She really does need to
Anyway,
stop.
so in a shaker with no
Yes,
ice,
what's
we're
in it?
pouring 2 ounces of Lone Light Spirits Distillery Gin, half an ounce of orange liqueur, which I used Cointreau, of course, as always, as it is the superior orange liqueur. Half an ounce of lemon juice, 1 ounce of egg white or 1 whole egg white, dry shake, then add ice, and then shake and strain to the glass. And then I did the silver sparkles, and then what I did for the top, so I tried just like putting it on top and then trying to like swirl it, and that didn't really work. So then I put the sparkles in with like some of the residual leftover cocktail in the thing, and then I used one of my droppers to drop it, and then that was kind of working.
nice.
So that was why I came so
Love
close to 11:30, because I was like, playing
Shut up. I was not overdigging
I
it.
wasn't trying
That
to
was
dig at you.
11:32
I
when
was
I got
like,
here.
No, Meg was just trying to point out that she managed to not make it 3 times in a row being the last person.
Wait.
Twice in a row she was the
I
last
know.
person.
I was like, I will not be last today. I will not.
This is true. This
Yeah.
is true. Did I cut out again? Because y'all got quiet for a second, and my face made this really weird.
You,
I just
you
held on
did
that.
pause, but it didn't feel like you cut
Okay.
out in a sentence. So,
Okay, good.
well, that
This is
sounds
messed up.
delicious. So don't knock
Does.
yourself down there for having that like
Cheers.
basic cocktail in your back pocket, because you've garnished it in a great way as well. So kudos to you there. I've had this in my fridge for I think 8 days now. I got this last weekend delivered with my shopping.
Nice.
It is from Northern Monk. It's called Even S'more Death. Okay, because as people,
so fun.
yes, as people may have from context gotten from my things today, or if you do know me, you'll know I got made redundant last week when Brewdog decided to go fuck its 500 staff members. So I wish them even s'more death. This is a chocolate, marshmallow, and biscuit imperial stout, and it is 8.4%, so it's going to have a little bit of kick. But I felt that was appropriate, so here's your
Ooh,
ASMR.
that's a good one.
Not much fizz there.
Nice. It was
Okay,
a good one.
good click, not a huge amount of fizz, but we'll try it.
Yeah, but it's a stout, so it's going to
Yeah.
be like nice and smooth.
That's true. Oh, and that is
Is
very
it?
smooth. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, yes. It's biscuit first, and then marshmallow and chocolate just blended together as the finish. That's really good.
Nice.
That's really good.
nice.
Yeah, I approve of that. So,
I'm jealous. I wanted to try a new cider last night. I went out with friends after a friend had a choral concert. We went to another friend of mine and I went to support him, and we went to the bar next door after, and we ordered some appetizers, and I said, "How's the cider?" And she said, "Oh, it's pretty good." I was like, "Is it sweet or dry?" And she was like, "It's drier." I was like, "Cool." She's like, "I'll bring you a taste." I was like, "Great, thanks."
Never did.
never
That was
turned
the
up.
last I saw of her. Never came back, and I never got a drink.
That cider is so dry, it's not even in the glass.
exactly. And I had asked for a glass of water, and they brought me a glass of water that was like 3 inches high. So I like sucked down the water.
You took a
I
shot
was
of
really
water.
thirsty. I'd been sitting in a concert for 2.5
Yeah.
hours. No, yeah, exactly. And I'd been sitting in a concert for 2.5 hours with no water. I was really thirsty, and then the water was gone, and I just sat there and ate garlic fries and portobello fries with nothing to drink. It was boring.
I mean, garlic fries and portobello fries sound good, but you need a drink.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, even water.
yeah, even water. You barely got
That's
that.
a
It was
basic
like
human
someone just sort of like someone took a squirt bottle and just sprayed you a couple times. Basically, is what it was like.
Like a
you know?
plant.
That's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah,
Or
like
a plant or a cat.
Like,
the mister with the plant thing. You know.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you know what? I think if I did that, O'Neill, if I did that to him, he'd run like and then try and attack me in the middle of the night or something as punishment. But I think if I did that to Sue and she just sort of like look at me as she's getting just sprayed and be like, "What is that? I don't understand," because she's actually very curious about water, but also she's pretty fucking stupid. She'd be like, "Am I getting wet? What is that? I don't know what this is." You know, she'd be like that. Bless her. So,
Yes. Yes.
I'd like to talk about, this is not Wheel of Time news, but like a fun thing. I posted this in our chat, but I want to talk about this for people to listen. We like nerdy things here. All right?
No.
I'm not a hardcore Whovian. I do enjoy Doctor Who, but I stopped, I think, when pretty soon after we lost Amelia Pond. That was kind of like when I dropped away from watching Doctor Who. I really should try and get into that, get watch all of those. But I think, have we talked on the podcast about like lost Doctor Who episodes over the years?
No.
Have we ever
I
mentioned
don't know that we
'Cause
have.
again,
I don't
I've
think we
never seen a
have.
single episode of Doctor Who. So
Well, maybe one day
Mhm.
we'll figure out ones you can watch. But there are, like, in the history, because obviously Doctor Who's been around since like the 60s. Is it like
60s, yeah.
63 or something like that? It's somewhere, anyway, it's in the 60s, the first 3 seasons. 3 seasons, I feel like is right.
Maybe.
Something like
That
that.
might be right.
Or maybe it might be 3 Doctors. I'm not sure. Maybe actually 3 Doctors sounds more. Whatever it is, I'm not a Whovian expert. But back in the 60s, obviously, like nothing's digital. It's all film. When you need to send it out to other countries to play, you know, for other networks and things like that, you've got to make copies and they've got to be sent out for them to physically play it and all that sort of stuff. Over the years, there are like a dozen, at least at this current stage, like missing Doctor Who episodes.
Wow.
Yeah, and they found 2 of them in an eclectic collection. Eclectic collection.
that's
I
fun
I
to
like
say.
eclectic.
Yeah.
Eclectic
That's-
collection.
it was
That is,
literally
that's
the
the name
title
of
is-
my new band album.
That's what yeah. That's what this segment should be, like when we just talk about random nerd news, you know. But yeah, like they were found, a cardboard box found in the collector's ramshackle collection of vintage films contained 2 episodes of Doctor Who that have not been viewed since airing in the 1960s. They feature the first incarnation of the Doctor, who was played by William Hartnell, and he's tackling a Dalek plan to take over the Earth and the solar system, all that sort of stuff. It was only ever shown in the UK because affiliates in other countries thought it was too scary. And let me see the actual quote, because it was very dark and gritty. That's how they described it. But yeah, they said it was not sold overseas. Centres in Australia and New Zealand deemed it too violent, and without their buy-in, selling to other markets was not profitable. So it was only ever played in the UK. So if you didn't watch it
Wow.
when it came out on TV in like a couple of week period, you've never seen these episodes. And they were found in an amateur collection. The guy died and like donated his collection to a local, I think a local museum or something of that nature. And someone went through and found them and was like, you know, here we go. And I just thought it was really cool how things like that can still just reappear many, many years later, and like how you can have junk in someone's collection or warehouse or garage or something like that can just
Turn into
just have
gold,
such value
yeah.
to people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's
I'm
really
assuming they're going to be digitized and saved
Oh,
and then
sure. Yeah.
played somewhere
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
They didn't say
neat.
anything
Or
about
released
that.
as a special lost episodes thing, or
Yeah.
I mean, that's the fun thing about the Doctor Who universe is the like all of the crossing over with the multiple Doctors, like having old Doctors come back and show up again, and you know, just even in like little tiny bits or cameos. But there's a fun through line. I'm sure they'll find a way to actually like thread it into the universe and make it work.
Yeah. Oh, I found it, actually. I thought it was in the article. So Peter Purves, who played the Doctor's assistant Stephen Taylor, was invited to the Phoenix Cinema in Leicester on Wednesday under false pretenses to view the 2 episodes, and he says, "My flabber has never been so gasted."
I love that.
Some really fun words today. I like it.
Great.
This is a good, this is a good day for words. And it says
we call this the word episode.
Yes, the word episode,
words.
yeah. Restored versions of the episodes will be released on BBC iPlayer this Easter. All right, so actually coming soon. Yeah, it's going to be The Nightmare Begins is the name of the first episode, and the second recovered episode is called Devil's Planet, which was originally broadcast 2 weeks after that episode. So yeah, very cool. Just like a fun bit of like nerdy nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
News.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that. So yeah. But yeah,
nerdy nostalgia news. We got it all. We got it all.
We're wordsmithing today. It's like this is wow. Hopefully this continues later when I go and watch Project Hail Mary at the cinema. Hopefully I have words afterwards and I'm not just a blubbering mess because I cried twice reading the book. So yeah, I don't cry at books too often. This one had me in tears twice, and I was like, oh my god. Yeah.
All right, maybe I'll go pick it up right now as soon as we're done.
Yes,
I got it sitting downstairs.
Meg, have you read it?
No, and I'm currently reading Dune, the God Emperor right now. So.
Oh. Yeah, and part of why I started Dune, and I was like gonna wait until, but then I didn't.
Aren't there like a lot of Dune books?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm literally only 4 pages in, so I was like, maybe I'll wait and hold off because I have a couple of other things I need to read right now. And,
wow,
I'm the worst.
I didn't. I mean, I know there are Dune books, but I didn't know there's a lot because someone does like reels and like, here's everything you need to know about the sandworms or whatever. Because I've read all, huge number of books, so you don't have to. And then they not the information at you, and I'm like, scroll. No offense, I'm sure it's well detailed, but it's like, yeah, no. Like even the Dune movies, which are great, and I've only ever seen that first one of the new ones. It's shocking how terrible. I haven't seen the second one, even though
it was, I think, way better than the first one. The second one.
I've heard it was better.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know that Rob Goodwin was the costume designer on the second one.
No way. That's awesome.
You said the second movie was better than the first. I thought you meant the second book was better than the first book.
No. The first book was
the movies.
Better because it was Messiah after that, and Messiah was kind of a letdown. And then Children of Dune I really liked, and then now I'm on God Emperor of Dune, and that's I don't know,
but that's not still Frank Herbert, right? Isn't that his son now? Oh, it is still Frank. Okay,
how many did he write?
His son eventually took over.
His son took over the series.
Oh right, okay. And so what are segue, folks? Sidetrack. Sorry. What are the movies? Which books are the movies based on?
The movies, the two movies are just based off of the first book. And then the third movie is Dune Messiah, so it'll be the next book, the second book.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Maybe I'll read them one day.
Yeah.
Who knows? So, anyway, let's talk about the book series that we all love and is the reason that we started this podcast and such. Let's talk about Wheel of Time.
All right, and I'm pulling my computer down so I can type.
Okay.
Okay.
Typing position has been acquired.
Such a flattering angle.
You look beautiful, Meg. Shush.
You look gorgeous, as always.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Let us not talk about whatever. Anyway, sorry.
Right.
I'm just a bitter old biddy today. Let me just say that.
You are
Speaking of alliteration.
neither a biddy, nor are you bitter, nor are you old.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I'm like, where's my drink? I'm like, I sound like...
It's like 9 in the morning, okay? So, one of these days we'll do a recording where it's like 9 in the morning for me and it's super late for you two at night, and then it'll be a different situation. I'll be like, I've still got a beer.
Yes.
Because, as long as I've fed the cats, my responsibilities have ended. Right. So where were we up to last time? Meg, remind us where...
So... we were kind of filling out season 8 and 7. So I think what we were still kind of trying to do was so we had that whole list of tent poles, and then we were trying to place them. So
That was it. Yes,
Yes.
I do remember
So
that.
I'll kind of recap what we said for 8, and then I'll work back to 7. So in season 8, we have Fields of Marilor with Moraine returning to Fields of Marilor at the end of episode 1 of season 8. Episode 2, we had the cold open escaping Tower of Genji, sort of like a flashback scene. And then all of the basically negotiations with the Fields of Marilor. Which I would imagine is that when we'd have to talk about the Dragon's piece as well. I mean, I guess maybe that's getting into the weeds, but...
I mean...
Oh,
maybe.
and we decided to cut out Hinderstaff, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we
as
did
much
cut
as that
out
depresses
gonna,
me beyond.
I still
beyond.
have that there, so I'm going to...
Oh, yeah, I see you've still got that.
cross that out.
I would like... Oh! I have an idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Since we're just making the show that we want to make,
Yes.
they do this on lots of shows, and there's a recent Star Trek is doing it they call them short treks, I think, and then Battlestar Galactica did it between seasons, like they had what was it, season 3 and 3.5, I think, or something, but they did little like shorts, little side stories of sometimes like secondary characters that were like and Real Time frankly did this with the animated pieces at the beginning.
Right, yeah.
I would like Hinderstaff to just be a little one-off.
Okay,
It's
so shall
just
we
a
have
little short.
like a short / novella section?
Yeah, so let
And
me
then
just
we
put
can
that
things
after
in
That's what it would be like.
8. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or we
And
could
maybe
just,
we even have a new spring short at some point.
Yeah,
Flashback.
maybe just put that like at the bottom of the list or somewhere, and just put shorts, and then we can just put them in there, and you can put 7/8 because it should be between 7 and 8 or something like that. Or
Okay.
you know, we can then figure that out at the time and be like, oh, release this novella at this. Yeah, that would be fun.
Okay.
And I think it would
Hinderstaff.
really. Then there's lots of different ways you could do these too. Like, I mean, Hinderstep could even be almost like a radio play. You know, God, it would be really fun as a radio play. Let's do Hinderstaff as a radio play.
Well, and, okay, and I'm still of the opinion.
I like this
The
energy.
caffeine
I'm
is
still of
kicking.
the opinion.
I had a double
that
latte.
When we
It's
finish
kicking
our
in.
whole outline, we like start fleshing it out. Like, I mean, let's just do this for the rest of our lives. We're gonna flesh this out, and then we'll like perform it at WatCons or things or whatever. Like, I think that would be really
When I'm
fun.
allowed back in America, yeah,
Yes.
sure, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Oh
I
my
do love
God,
this.
it might
I
be
love this
hilarious.
idea.
Yes.
Like, yeah, making
Yeah.
a radio play and things like that. This is fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many fun things that can't make it into the series proper just because of timing. And so, like, you know, is there a way to honor those in some other way? Like, and did the Hindersteps? I mean, here's the other thing. Like, did the Hinderstep thing really happen? Well, in a way, like, I wouldn't consider dropping it into the last battle of the show if we haven't had it.
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense to bring it in. So maybe it's like, you know, maybe it's a different turning version as opposed to like in this turning Hinderstep doesn't really happen.
Well, I mean, they've also
but
kind
I
of
do
done
really-
that with like your Marvel one shots, and I think Star Wars has done a couple of those
Yeah.
too. You know, like I think, and you could even do
Yeah.
that animated or whatever. You know, I think it would be fine.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like the idea of radio plays as well because it's sort of you just because there's some great narrators out there or like just voice actors you could get. You know, it really could. I think I don't know. It sounds silly, but I think there's been a few things over the last that have just quietly sat there over the last sort of 5 to 10 years where it's like, ooh, the narration of this was really cool, or like the voice acting of this. The latest example being how everyone's crying over the. And the previous one before it would be, because I will get back to that first one, sorry. The previous one would be the guy who played Gollum and Schmeagol doing the narration for Lord of the
doing
Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
I forget his name now.
Andy
That's-
Serkis.
Yeah, Andy
Andy
Serkis.
Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis. Everyone's like, oh my God, you've got to listen to Andy Serkis. And now obviously the most recent version of that would be the gentleman who did the audio for Project Hail Mary. And everyone's like, that's going to be an example where it's better than reading the book, is listening to the book instead. Like, so I feel like there's been very low-key a couple of moments like this where it's like, do you know what? Having some kind of narrated story over animation or just something to listen to is really just sort of like slipping in as a fun alternative way for people that are to experience something. So yeah, like a radio play.
Trends and things. It's like a
I feel the
wheel.
step. Oh my God.
It's like a wheel.
They just come
would
back
like to-
around.
I would like to give a shout out to another exemplary that is my favorite audiobook ever. And because it's different. So this is like no shade on the many audiobook narrators that I know. Kate McKinnon narrates her own books. Her new series, the Millicent Quibb series. And it's a middle grade book. The book actually has some gorgeous illustrations, like very sort of like Edward Gorey sort of style illustrations. They're just delicious. And when she's reading it, she says, hello, dear reader or dear listener, you know, and then she's like, make sure you go look at the PDF that came along with this. Like she's telling you to do it. She's doing it from as if she is a character,
she doing it like
not a character in the book.
18 or 1900s, like affected accent.
No, and I kind of did that. Sorry.
Okay,
I mean,
but that's okay. You had me engaged straight away, though. So
I know. Well, she does. Here's what's great about it.
Does she sound like Aunt Jo?
Books are a little bit. Yes, she does actually at times. Yes, she does sound like our Aunt Jo a little bit. Yes. And she's a little.
Wait, so you actually have an Aunt Jo? For some reason, I thought this was like some kind of version of Aunt March and Little Women is what we were going for here.
Our Aunt Jo.
No, we do have an Aunt Jo.
Okay, fair enough.
And she sounds like she's very mid-century, sort of like Atlantic Seaboard. She's very like, yeah. But so Kate wrote the books, but the first book is actually written by Edwina Candlestink, I think is the name. So there's like a fake name who wrote it. So the fake author so Kate McKinnon actually starts the audiobook by saying, this is the last time you're going to hear me, Kate McKinnon. And then she like falls into Edwina, who's telling us the story. But then she plays like she does the characters. She does different voices for the characters. Her sister actually voices some of the characters as well. And like comes in and like voices them when it's, and then, you know, she'll say, check out the PDF, like look at the thing. You have to like see this to know what we're talking about. And so some of it is actually designed for the audiobook specifically. It's not from the book. It is so fun. I listened to the first one because Kyle was reading it concurrently, like with his eyeballs. And I listened and I was just like, Kyle, you should listen to it instead. It's so fun. And so then when I read the second one, by the paper copy of the second one, all I could hear was everything I had heard from the first one. Anyway,
that's so cool.
It's delicious. And Megan knows I've talked about it too, but it's really
Leia and I are reading the first one right now. So
that's cute.
But I told Megan not to let Leia listen to it yet because then she'll just make Megan do all those voices.
That's the kids would do that. So,
yeah. But it's just great. It's so fun. It's just terrific. And again, I think it's elevating the craft, and I can't wait to both read Hail Mary in the book and read it by listening to it because I think it'll be really fun to
I look forward to like starting that next week properly after I watch the movie today, like, and just go from there. So amazing.
Yeah,
I love this. I love that we've got these short one-off things, and you know, there's narration is getting more appreciation. So
and then I went off again and got
no, it's totally fine.
It me. Okay. Yeah, Hintersteps out.
Okay, so that was where we left off with season 8, and then talking about how at the end it was all about them and trying to do like horizontal camera flips, showing everyone's key moment that ensured the victory of the light or whatever.
Wait, what? I love this. I don't remember saying this. This is great.
Do you not remember this? So it was like an homage to
like everyone's main moment in the series, and instead of doing it like this, we were doing it like this. Yeah.
Did I fall asleep? What the fuck? How did I miss this?
No, that was quite a while ago that we put that one in because we haven't been doing. I think it's like 4 episodes back that we did this, so it's a couple of months since we did.
And we said Loyal should narrate it.
Yes, Lawyer would narrate it.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
So because we thought it was like fun to like go horizontal rather than vertical, like they did. So there was like that, you know, just the bit of difference, but it does call back to it, and then we would play back moments from throughout the show. That would then play
that's really fun.
Yeah, and it was like silly thing, or not silly things, but like small things that they did that you wouldn't realize the effect it could have. But it was like key moments for characters and for the story that then everyone was like, oh my god, it was like everything was like when you read the book. It's like, oh my god, this foreshadowing here, this key moment there makes that change there, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, but that was probably like 4 or 5 months ago that we put that in there now.
Taking our time,
and I have a very short term. I have a short term memory this time. Well, let me ask you this about the ending of the series and like talking about episode 8. So I'm thinking of Lord of the Rings, and I'm thinking of the epilogue, which is how long?
I think
in
like
the Lord
a
of the
half
Ring,
hour.
in Return of the King.
Yeah, easily
It's-
half hour, if
yeah.
not longer. Yeah.
It's a long ass time, and so I'm again like wondering: is there even, I'm such a sucker. I'm one of those people who loves like the end of Legally Blonde when they're like, Elle graduated
Yeah,
honors and
Oh,
Emmett's
yeah.
gonna propose to her tonight, and like it tells you all the things that like people are doing in the future.
I
get
like
such a kick out of that
epilogues
always.
as well.
Yeah, and now I'm wondering, you were asking about the dragons piece, and and how that fits into it, and do we show Avienda like showing that future? Do we even do we broach the like possible futures and what that means? And Bear going back to the rings. Like,
the
do we
columns.
broach that again, or is that is that a
I don't think it's anything
information
that
that
you need to
the
hit in
audience?
the epilogue. No.
Well, is it actually something that you need to? I mean, the dragons piece.
No, we need to
in real
see
time. Yes.
Avienda's possible, like her go through the rings and see the future. That is a holy shit moment that I think would be missed.
I also think if we don't set up the Aiel with a future, everything about their culture kind of becomes pointless.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no need for anyone to go through the trials to find out why they are the people of the dragon and why they have this giant, everything about them, aside from the wise ones going through the rings to find out possible futures about themselves, there's basically no point in doing any of the challenge. Iridian is like no longer the secret holder for what their culture is all about.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you don't have I've got actress named Ayula. So if you don't have Avienda going through the columns again, going through again and seeing the future instead of the past, I think you leave the Aiel with no future and no purpose.
Well, this would be like your new way of, making sure that you can handle things as a clan chief or a wise one, right? I mean, because everybody knows the past now, so there's no way to pick, in the traditional sense, wise ones and clan chiefs anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing, is like Rand has just dismantled, and we saw this in the show, Rand has dismantled their testing ground for understanding if someone is strong enough to do this. Yeah, that's interesting. So the giving the columns a new purpose.
So are we doing that?
It was because she went.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think this would have to be a season 7 thing, though, for sure. Because if we're at the Fields of Marilor in season 8, in episode 1, isn't that where the Dragon's Peace gets brokered?
Yeah, it is.
So I think
when she says he has to do it, when she begs him.
Yeah, so I think she definitely has to do the columns in season 7 at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know if
At
that
some
would be
point in
beginning,
season
middle,
7,
or end, though.
I think that one can float for when it fits best for wherever we have them.
All right, so I'll put it mid right now, and then we can
mid's fine.
Tweak it somewhere.
It can be moved.
Yeah.
But see, okay, in the books, she goes after Veins of Gold?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that because Veins of Gold is the thing about Veins of Gold is that that's going to give us, we know that the last battle's still coming, but Veins of Gold is the moment when we say, oh, this book could have a happy ending. This story could have a happy ending. And I think for the show as well, everything needs to be at its absolute worst before Veins of Gold. Obviously, it's going to get bad again in the last battle. But so I feel like Avienda going back to the columns should be in that moment after Veins of Gold, when we're lulling the audience into feeling like, hey, things are looking good. If we can do A, B, C, and D, we might be able to win the last battle. And then that's the conversation happening of and then Avienda goes and
we had
and when she's like, we won the last battle, but it still goes bad.
Veins of Gold in 608.
Yeah. So I'm agreeing with you in season 7. So if it's 608 is Veins of Gold, maybe we can even start season 7 with, okay, we could win the last battle, but that does not mean everything
So
will
maybe
be okay.
maybe season 7 would be the Avienda's second trip.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's
So we
something
just
that
need
I
to make
think
sure
is
we send her in season 6, so it's not bizarre that she's there at the beginning of 7.
well, maybe, or she could set off for it at the beginning of 7.
That's what I'm
think
saying. Like,
maybe
you know,
potentially,
at some point in 6, we've sent her to Iridian, and we don't see it until season 7.
Yeah. Here's what I feel like. You know, the aspects of. Oh, I just watched some Star Trek, so this is on my mind for Star Trek, and it's also on my mind for Babylon 5 because somebody kind of thrashed Jenny and I and said like we would have been terrible generals because we wouldn't be willing to sacrifice the one for the many, and I was like, we were actually criticizing a character who couldn't do that, so I was like very confused about this comment because one of the things that I think Jordan set up beautifully, but maybe wasn't as explored as deeply as it would have been if he had finished the series, because it's subtle, is that like we keep seeing the Isle as this very majestic group of people who are like, you know, self-sacrificing and like willing to put themselves through it to like for the better good. But in a way, it's for the better good of them, not necessarily of the world. Like we always talk about the Shan-Chan being selfish when we're not sure if Tuon's going to let them fight because she's like, I'm here to protect the Empire. Like my job is to protect the Empire. Fuck you all. If it doesn't affect us over there in Shan-Chan, then I don't care. Like there's this idea that the last battle almost doesn't matter to her, and we're worried that the Shan-Chan aren't going to come through and help us out. But I think that same preservation of culture and of one's own culture is really prevalent in the Aiel, and we don't have the negative connotation with them that we do with the Shan-Chan. And I think that there's something to play with in that in season 7, that sort of like, are the Aiel going to sacrifice the world just so they can retain the shred of the remnant of a remnant? Because there is this like, when Avienda's like, you have to do this, otherwise the Aiel will disappear.
So overarching
there's a
theme
part
of season 7.
Maybe because we talk about like selfishness of one person versus the greater good, but this is like selfishness of a culture versus the greater good.
So will the Aiel
and
sacrifice
I think that there's something
their culture for the greater good, is what you're saying?
Right, but they don't.
Well, and
they aren't
that
willing.
Being like the question. Right.
Yeah, and also like that contrast with the Shan-Chan of like, even having someone at some point say something like, essentially like Matt saying to Tuon, like, you would let the entire world fall just to protect the Empire and yourself and your culture and like to preserve that. And she's like, fuck yeah. And then like the contrast of being like, well, no one else would do that. And the Aiel being like, yeah, we would. Like, I don't know. I just think there's something really fun and interesting in that.
There's also, now you're making me see parallels, and I use that word loosely, parallels between the Shan-Chan and the Aiel, if you take out slavery. So if you take out the slavery of the Shan-Chan, very structured societies, very rigid rules on how things work and don't work, what raises you up, what brings you down, okay? Very good organizers in society, like society is looked after in general. Like, they don't seem to have homeless people, poor people, I imagine child death rates are extremely low and unavoidable, typically speaking. Like they both run a very, again, remove the slavery, but a very well organized and cultures that kind of like look after everybody.
So would you call that, I mean, if we're putting labels on it, would you call that like a socialist society or a communist society? Like,
well,
would you say maybe the Aiel
not
was
at all
socialist, whereas the Shan-Chan was more communist?
I mean, in a sense, I think you could probably like
you could use those,
simplify it to that.
Yeah, if you want to simplify them, I think you could simplify them down to those sorts of things. Obviously, it's a massive thing to be like, take out the slavery, and then they're not a terrible society. Like, I'm not trivializing that at all.
They still also encourage assassination of each other to move your way through the ranks. But I guess the Aiel kind of do as well.
There's huge, like, how do you earn G?
Right.
Yes, what earns you the most G is to touch someone in battle who's armed and you are unarmed and things like that without killing them and such. But and don't kill them. But basically, death is a way to just move through society. That doesn't get them a rank in their own sept and clan and stuff, but it does earn them
but
G,
their own.
You know,
It does, and that
status.
G, that personal honor and that status for oneself is like,
they're a mighty warrior. You should listen to them. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, like there are parallels. They're not one for one parallels. They are like, I suppose they're quite broad connections, but you know, they're there nonetheless. When you simplify certain things, when you take out, you know, some of the very specific things about each culture, you know, there are things. And that
most
really
of the most of the cultures in the Westlands, in comparison to Shan-Chan or the Aiel, you would call them all chaotic. You know, there's no discipline, there's no order, like people are doing whatever they want, you know, and like, and you know, the Westlands view the Shan-Chan as being so rigid. They're like, thank God we have our freedom. So thank God we have the ability to make our own choices and our own decisions, and we aren't like locked into this really rigid structure. But the Aiel are a different version of a very rigid structure. And I think that I do think that there's a fun, interesting parallel. And it's not even that like one is clearly superior than. I mean, well, we would all agree that the Aiel are superior to the Shan-Chan, but you know, but it isn't.
I mean, they don't. I mean, they do slavery in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, they sell people to Shara.
And it's not as clean.
They sell people to Shara, into slavery. Yeah.
Speaking of Shara, did we decide officially we're just dropping Shara?
Well, did we say
After
because
last
we aren't
week,
having Demand Dread, right? Did we decide on what Forsaken
we
actually
are?
had?
He's just my he's Mazer time, right?
We were going to, I think we said we were going to put that back in.
So maybe let's, in our characters, let's figure out which Forsaken we actually had. So we had Ishii.
We haven't written down which Forsaken we're going to have.
Wait, we did?
We're going to keep them all? Because, no. I say we didn't, sorry, is what I said.
So we had Ishii, we had Lanfear, we have Robin, we have Magi, we had
Samael.
Those were the only ones we've seen, right? They mentioned Grandal.
We've only seen, but
they mentioned Samurai.
Yes,
right.
So that's
one, and then we didn't know who the eighth one was.
6, 7, and we all agreed it was Asmodean.
But we're pretty confident it's going to be Asmodean.
Okay.
Like I think that's
So to me, none of those people would have time or space to go to Shara. And Shara's never been mentioned.
Yeah, I mean,
in the show.
If it is Asmodean, I mean, I think you could create the Asmodean character. Like, you could give the Asmodean character some very distinct Demon Dread characteristics. Asmodean could be born a day before, Asmodean, or day after. No, just hear me out. Because this is one of my problems with Demon Dread in the books, is that he is, like, we hear all these things about him. He was born a day after him. He was, like, he would have been the top general if Lews Therin wasn't there. Like, all of the, like, his entire being was around being jealous of Lews Therin. In the end, he doesn't. What did I do this time?
It was
my
thumb snap
keeps coming out.
LBF, your LBF put in chat. Did that happen to you, or was it just Megan Jen Megan and I?
Did you just call yourself Jen?
We need to know.
I called myself Jen. Look, I'm drinking an 8.4% Imperial Stout, okay? I have had food today, but, you know, apparently I'm getting loose. I ain't got shit all to do.
Or
so,
Mom, you can respond to if you heard it.
Yes, also, Mom, you can respond as well.
Yeah. And they're not responding, so now I'm like, did the chat go away? Are we all just like...
we scared chat off, that's what we did. Yeah.
It is it's little bubbles of evil, or bubbles of dubstep.
That was a lot of W's.
There was a lot of W's. I love this. This probably will not come out in the edit because of how Riverside records for us. So people have no idea really what happened, but it's quite a thing. Anyway, so
I have no idea what you just said, by the way.
Okay, all I was saying was that the Forsaken do get complicated. Like when we have 13, they do share characteristics, and they Samael was a really great general, and he was almost better than Lews Therin, but he wasn't.
Also jealous
but actually,
of Lews Therin, yes, Demandred
and also jealous of him.
Same note.
There was a lot of similarities.
They did, but because we already lost Samael, we don't now have room for that to give it to him,
and we don't have a general in this setup. We don't actually have a general,
and we don't,
Robin
and because Asmodean gets. Yes, Robin could have those characteristics, and we could give them to him. But and depending how long his storyline's going to go on, and I think we have to. I don't know if it's Asmodean or Demon Dread, but we also have Ishi's gone for now. Ishi's gone. Samael's gone. We don't know if we're going to transmigrate bodies, so we don't know if Samael's coming back. We don't. Maybe he will, because maybe we're going to
come back though, right?
Well, yes, I agree. Yeah. But his relationship of Ishi being essentially the story they're telling us about him having been best friends, with Lews Therin, is a really nice contrast to someone having been his biggest enemy and spending a lifetime being jealous of him. So those Demon Dread characteristics are really interesting. They didn't get us paid off in the book.
So I was all against this at first because Asmo has to be his teacher, right? I mean. But and I was and then he
doesn't have to be his teacher.
I think they were alluding to that, But I don't know. But
they
maybe
set up Logain that way, and that they didn't in the books.
I don't know. But anyway, it's almost
I
better. I think if you have it that.
Lanfear tried to send him Sammy, and then Moggy killed him instead. So I think that in the show was the nudge to here's your teacher thing, because let's be honest, Rand in the show was picking shit up way.
Well, and that's what I was about to say.
He was making
it
seems
rain
to have zero issue,
and did rings or arrows of fire or whatever it was at the end of season 2.
Yeah, it seems to be he has no issue getting the power and doing things. You can absolutely have
which almost gives you a I don't know, this kind of dichotomy of you don't want Rand going mad and hearing Lews Therin, but at the same time, maybe that's helping him learn to channel, So it really gets. Yeah.
I mean, Logain is a very, very excellent channeler. We've set it up that Logain could teach him.
Yes.
But Logain could simply say to Rand, I was taught by the memories.
Mm-hmm.
I had people in my head teaching me, and Rand is like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we have some precedent for that. So I don't think we need Asmodean to be his teacher. I mean, but I know we have the Forsaken. I mean, trust me, I even have a copy of them here. I have spent so much time looking at all of the symbols of Forsaken on the little wheel and looking at the little idols, and we all are like, one of them has a guitar. Mm-hmm. It's got to be Asmo.
Yeah.
Yes. So I just
Rafe,
and
can you please just answer that question? I know you're listening. Obviously.
Just tell us who it is.
Please just answer that question.
He's going to hang out of that, and he
will hang on to that one.
Because someday, in 10 years, he'll be like, "I'll drop my 10 years."
The 10 years secrets,
But I think I don't know. I think that the Asmo is, as he is in the books, which is gets captured, teaches him a little, plays some music, and then gets killed, is not going to serve us as well in the story.
It's so
and
fun,
so if
though.
he is, no, it is fun. But if we want,
I'm not saying he can't die, but what he does in the books, if he does that in the show, is you've made time and space for a character to do very little. When you've already stripped out 5 Forsaken, to then have a character that does so little, really, to help Rand learn when it feels like he doesn't need help learning.
So are we saying
it feels like you're wasting
are trying to have Asmo bring Shara in, or no? Yeah,
I'll be F in chat right now. Yeah. I don't know which of you will kill Asmodean. Oh, it's Rob.
I don't know.
I'm also okay with if he makes it a long stretch, or even right to the end, basically.
But what's his purpose?
I'm okay with this, and well, we can give him some Demon Dread purpose.
So are we
okay
sending him to Shara?
If he does have
I don't think we need. Shara's out. Shara's out.
I think Shara's out.
Do we want him bring? Because I think we'd said something at one point, but I don't know if any of us wrote it down, that instead of Shara being the surprise on the at at the Channeler's front of the last battle that we would bring in the red-veiled Aiel. Was that what? Did
Yes,
we
we
say
did
that
say
at
that.
some
I think we
point?
talked about that last week.
I know,
We
but I
talked
don't
about
think
it
any
last
of us
week,
wrote
I
it
think.
down, though.
No,
Oh,
'cause
yeah, we
didn't
did.
have
Oh,
notes
my
on that,
God.
so
Why are
did-
we talking about Shara? I have Shara crossed out.
There we go. See, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Okay.
I was pretty sure we had that.
Red-veiled Aiel instead of Shara.
And then they can appear earlier. We've got the proper setup for them,
Mhm.
and it can be a real blow to the Aiel fighters
So
as
I'll
well.
put that
like Blood
somewhere
and chat.
in-
Pretty sure Harriet has Shara crossed out too.
love.
I love that. That's one we should ask Maria about. Like, did Harriet want
Uh-huh.
Shara crossed off? You know, like, did Brandon have to push for that? That should be a fun question to ask.
Harriet's an excellent editor. I'm
She
going to go
is.
with yes.
I mean,
I'm
she's
gonna go
edited
with
some
she was like-
not just Wheel of Time, but like her other things she's edited over the years. Like she's done some stunning projects, you know, like really and some great jobs on really cool pieces of literature. So,
Well, then we have to. Then we should. I'm like we should discuss those at some point as well. I do have to say that. I mean, like Brandon said that he was like, "Oh, I feel like we need to have this backstory chapter because I feel like it comes out of nowhere." And Harriet was like, "I think it's okay."
yeah.
There's that, but I think that, I just think I don't think it's going to serve us in our 8 seasons. I think it's going to really just pull away from the 8th season. But I also think that that's the question.
I feel like this is the slightly less controversial version of taking Tom Bombadil out of Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like.
And
you know,
I agree. And as much as I would love to, I mean, as much as I've joked about this, as much as I would love to like retcon it and say yes, Taim is Demon Dread, and we're just going to go back to that and put that in the show. I love that idea. Knowing the fandom as I do, and knowing how they're so easy to like jump on any kind of change. I mean, it would be very easy to point to that and be like, Robert Jordan specifically said it was not him. You can't do that. And I feel like maybe that's just me wanting to like.
yeah, I think
do
at
my own
most
thing.
we should
I don't think
have a small nudge, like a tiny moment. If we put Taim in, which I'm still down for.
Yeah.
I think Taim plays a good part in the story. We should have a moment where there is some kind of like open-ended suggestion, comment, situation that kind of alludes to him maybe having Demon Dread vibes, you know,
Okay, I'm
and
putting
then never
this
address it ever
under
again.
tent pole forming the Black Tower. So Taim Demandred
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where
Yeah.
he like
And you
calls
just have that
sisters
there.
like so-called Aes Sedai and things like that.
Yeah, like he throws out an old tongue, like an Age of Legends phrase or something like that. The heavy book reader who's watching the show can go, oh, that's the allude that he's actually Demon Dread. Oh my god, they're going to make him Demon Dread instead. And then we never do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it fits with the
So
story.
we are just like Jordan. Exactly.
But we're just like Jordan. So it's there for the people who want that, but it's also sticking to the story that ended up appearing on page.
Can I also
Which I like.
do
And
one
it's-
side thing about
there's
book
even-
cloaks that I got so mad about yesterday?
Yes, hang
Go
on one
ahead, yeah.
second though. Let me just say one thing about Taim, because I think that we've actually set the precedent that Taim could drop some old tongue if he's just another false dragon like Logain, because
Right.
Logain probably has people speaking old tongue in his head. Like he's got somebody in his
So
head.
illusions,
He does.
So-
He has two people, as we saw on the show. So yeah.
Okay, that's all.
allusions to
That's all.
hearing voices and past memories as well. Okay.
I would like to, after Meg's book cloak thing, I would like to pitch something for the Forsaken, which is a change from the books.
Okay, great.
But
Mine's
Meg,
really
take
quick.
away the book cloak thing.
So I was just on Facebook again. I know I get so fucking mad at all the Facebook book cloaks, but anyway, they're like, because I think Priyanka just posted something about like 1 year anniversary since the season 1 episode or whatever, and someone's like, yeah, and like there weren't even any Aes Sedai at the Battle of the Two Rivers. I'm like, what the fuck? Varen and Alana were there in the books. Must be nice not reading the book cloak. I texted that. Or I commented that. So.
Did they respond?
No, they did not. So I was just like,
Because they're probably like, oh, I'm a dumb fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
it's like you're fucking
There
dumb.
weren't even any Aes Sedai
Anyway,
at the
they just
Battle
make
of
me
the
so
Two
mad.
Rivers.
That is really
that is such a misogynistic statement. He probably was like, and the women didn't do anything either. Like, come on.
He probably got goosebumps when Perrin was fighting, but like when the women turned up, he's like, "Oh, what you doing? They had it under control, bro. You know, you're supposed to be looking after the kids. Who's looking after the kids? You know, they won't be doing that."
Okay, what's your Forsaken pitch?
All right, so my Forsaken pitch. I would like to have one of the female Forsaken, and I'm leaning towards Semirhage for this.
Okay.
But I would like one of the female Forsaken to be the general type person, rather than just be the guys who are good at war.
Yes. Thank you. Simple, easy. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want them to be like commanding armies and stuff like that. You know, Semirhage could do it in a real vindictive, nasty, I want to explore pain, you know. So instead of, she can still do it on a water and Aes Sedai level, but also like, what happens if I control both armies and pitch them against each other?
I don't mind it being Grendel for that reason.
I think Grendel would be the better person for that.
That I'm open it to it. Yeah, I think anyone except Lanfear. Because Lanfear's got a focus on other things.
She's got
because she's the one that fucks with all the 5 generals anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And she's also we talk about I just reread the sequence at the beginning because after last week, and he was like, someone was like, go back and reread the opening of book 5. And you can clearly see who's in there and who's going to be doing something. And Grendel's in it.
Right.
There's something about Grendel being, you know, her whole visible persona is pleasure, decadence, over, you know, like, I'm just frivolous and I just like someone stands next to me and I can just like drop my wine glass and I know someone will grab it. Like, you know, like her whole thing is surface, and like she doesn't play at being dumb, but she plays at only caring about like the top level thing and not having strategy and underneath. And we know that she does. And I think, you know, and then there's the whole thing with her and Samael working together with the Aiel and the stasis box, not stasis boxes, the cubes.
Yeah, stasis boxes. Yeah.
And so,
I know what you're talking about. The talkie cubes. I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah, the talkie cubes and the like also
like
press this and it opens
boxes,
the gateway.
I think is what it translates to.
Nabala?
Yes.
Narbaha.
Right.
Nabaha. Yeah.
We got there.
So we did. I'm very impressed with you both. I did not get there. I just rode along on your coattails. But I just think there's something really wonderful about like this character who looks like there's no way she could be the strategy genius, who really is a strategy genius. And so having her like step into that role in the last battle of commanding the armies. And it's also a nice connection to Elaine. With Elaine being the queen who likes baths, you know, becoming the sort of leader of the battle as well. I think it's really fun, and I love it.
And also, we need someone to command the last battle. And let's be honest, Asmodean vibe, like running the last battle, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
Grendel up there doing it.
Well, I mean, honestly, I mean, like, you think about just like she's queen of manipulation, and what is a general except somewhat kind of a manipulator, you know?
Yeah, manipulating armies into, you know, like beating the other. Yeah, I like it.
And
you know?
Demon Dread, no, not Demon Dread. Sorry, whoever's point of view we're in at the beginning of that scene. We're in one of the male Forsaken. Anyway, somebody says Grendel's not subtle. Like, they talk about she uses so much compulsion that she obliterates their mind. There's nothing left there. You know, but we also know that that's not entirely true because we know what she did.
Subtle. She did it with the generals.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And at
I mean, and that's like her
what better way to
is to make it seem like she's not subtle, so nobody knows what's coming when she is. You know,
it's that cliche of a person who's just like, I'm really dumb and pretty and I just get my way by, you know, making people do things for me, when really they're highly intelligent underneath and it's just a total front. You know, like,
I love it.
Jim Bro's like, I'm big and strong and this and the other, you know, like, I'm just a dumb Jim Bro. When really they go home and they got a PhD. No Jim Bro has a PhD, but, you know, I lie. There probably is a Jim Bro out there with a PhD. But You know, like it's
Yes.
you know, people are, like use like really ham up that big facade on the front. She does that. You know, like I'm all about self-indulgence, and I just use batteringly huge waves of compulsion to take control. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I really like this.
Love it.
So I wasn't sure who to pick.
Love it, love it.
I like Semrau because of the evil nastiness thing, but Grendel is a much better pitch. So thank you, Beck. I appreciate that.
I think
it's
Jen
great.
was
I
about
think
to
it's
pitch
great.
it if I
A real
didn't,
tactician.
so.
Okay.
I was. I mean, Rob, you pitched the idea of it being a woman. I love it. And then Meg and I were both like, it's
Hey,
Grendel.
teamwork. You know, that's what it's about.
Yes.
So, you know,
Yes.
sometimes I'll be like this person, but sometimes I'm like, I just want this for like
Somebody.
a woman instead, or a guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
can the guy do this? Can the woman? Can you know, like, can Treebeard pop in and say hi? Like, you know, like I'm gonna, you know, that's what teamwork.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
And look, at the end of the day, you can't deny the fact that Megan and I are sisters. We'll probably have a lot of the same ideas. Thank you, Mom, because we'll have the same ideas that Mom probably started us on the path of. Because sister power, sister power.
yes,
Sorry. That's a little song that Avienda and Leia sang
They're
that
really
I
cute.
love very much.
oh,
And I may have
that
watched
sounds
their
adorable.
I may have watched their talent show multiple times.
All right, so if we're going to make Grendel more the general type person, but like I feel like we might like hint on that early on and then drop it later.
Yeah,
feel
no,
like
I
that's gonna
don't
fit
want it
because
to
we
be
need that.
her overarching quality that we know her for until it's like too late and a surprise.
Maybe
Yeah, and I think
Asmodean
that
could
we-
be like the general originally, but he's just like, I'm kind of over it now. I'm going to be a bit more selfish, and I don't want to do the big army thing.
Well, and Demon Dread brings an army in, but he, you know, just like, I know we're not doing Shara, but Demon Dread, like if we're kind of combining some of the qualities of Demon Dread and Asmodean, I don't know that it has to. I mean, I don't mind letting Samael be the general who's like, I like the idea that the Forsaken
Samael's
are like,
dead.
well, we lost our tactician. That's what I mean. I like them saying to each other, we've lost our tactician. We've lost our general. You know, and like even the other Forsaken don't see Grendel that way.
Yeah.
You know, and so I like that maybe we drop a couple things in here and there where she she has some tactic things, but then we don't see it till later. Go, Rob. Go.
Asmodean, okay, so he's not doing the teacher thing, but I feel like we need to get Asmodean in with Rand while he's heavily involved with the Aiel stuff. Because I would love it if Asmodean's like, well, we don't have a general anymore, and the battle's coming up, so, you know, I'm going to go, like, and try and find my own little band of channelers or whatever, and he's the guy who brings in the red-veiled Aiel.
Oh,
And he's
that's
inspired about
interesting.
that because he hears stories of what do the male channelers do in the Aiel, and they run off to here,
Yeah.
and he's just like, oh, I'm going to look into that. And when he turns up, I'm like, how did you turn up with that army? He's just like, well, when you listen to the other side, you hear things, and you know, they've been doing, and they've just, you know, someone set this up, and obviously that, you know, we know in the books who set all that,
And
up.
that's
So, yeah.
the surprise.
Oh,
on the
and then
channeling front.
and then
Yes.
when after he brings them, Grendel can still kill him because she's like, "Thank you for bringing me my army. I do not need you now."
Yeah, don't need you no more. Yes,
and we can still have Grendel kill us.
and we still have that moment, you know.
Yes. You.
It just won't be. It just won't be quite so hidden. It will be like we'll actually put that on screen or something. You know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We could if we could put Grendel killing Asmodean on screen. Just so we could get the book cloaks to be like, what? It wasn't Grendel. The ones who like didn't actually find out that it was Grendel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to fuck
I
with
like
people.
to
I
fuck
really
with
like
book
it.
cloaks too. Not in the way, not in that way.
Yes, we know.
We know.
All right.
So, all right.
right. I like this. I like this for our.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's. Can we go back to Taim for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Taim has been mentioned in the show.
Yes.
We don't actually officially. Have we heard he escaped in the show?
Well, I know that they had. Well, I don't think he's ever been captured. So what? So
Right.
Elida got Lyanna and Suwan to send Galena and other. Oh no, not Galena. Sutama
Not Galena.
and some of the other Reds to go collect Taim.
Okay, right. So they're going to get captured and be forced into bondage.
Well, he hasn't started the Black
Right?
Tower yet.
No, but you might as well just jump
Right.
that. Like, you might as well, like that could be happening. They could be on their way, and it could be happening simultaneously with Rand giving him permission to start the tower or something. Because I'm just wondering, do we? Because if we're not going to make Taim Demon Dread as much as I really, really, really want to do that, and we are going to elevate him to the new version of a Forsaken,
or do we? I mean, because they're kind of setting up Liandrin to be the one to be raised to chosen.
Yeah, but they both can be. I think they both should be.
I think that's fine because
I think we do.
I mean, we've obviously just said we're going to lose Asmodeus still regardless. Mm-hmm. We've lost Samael currently in the show, and that's up for debate about whether we bring him back or not.
I think we have to lose Robin because I think we need to really see the effects of Balefire.
Sure. Yes,
with losing
I think
Robin.
We need to lose Robin. Yes,
I think that's really interesting.
So far, even if we bring Sammy back, we've lost 2 of the male Forsaken without losing any of the female Forsaken. So I have no issues with then adding in one more guy, Taim, and Liandrin, and then it's a 5 and 3 blend. I like that. I like the idea of still having 8 come late in the season.
So I'm going to put that in our Forsaken section where Taim and Liandrin get raised to chosen.
Yeah.
Can I pitch you guys a side story that I just got really sad about, and I want to see it?
Okay.
Sure.
Are we going to cry?
Maybe. No, you won't, probably. Okay, did either of you see Jenny Lesbian Nerdy did a thing about Morgase's storyline, like 5 years ago. She did a little one-off about...
Maybe. If it was 4 or 5 years ago, I'm not going to remember very well.
Yeah. It was just, it really stuck with me. And it really stuck with me. And it was just about her story being like so tragic and so fucked up, and how she just gets the shaft over and over and over again, and like never gets to come into her own, and then gets Talonvor and blah, 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 which it's a really great take. And I love her. I love this take. And how she is just like literally the trauma queen, and continues to get traumatized over and over and over again in the show, which I hate.
Books.
No, I mean in the books. So I just was like, I was with the Robin and Morgase, and like, and him, putting her under such compulsion. Yeah, sorry, it is like LBF was like, that's a bad choice of words.
It's unfortunate wording. Yeah.
Yes, it is. I tend to use lots of apparently dick words in all of my words all the time without intention.
What was that one months back at this stage where you said something and it was like completely inappropriate? You did it on.
It was about Henry Cavill.
No, it was about laying pipe.
Laying pipe, that was it, yes.
There's many things so we can choose from.
Yes. There are. The Henry Cavill one we could definitely choose from as well. Okay. So here's my pitch. We still go down the Robin Morgase thing. We get this horrible story. I've always been like, Jenny even says this, I think. She's like, it would be better if she was just killed after Robin, because like what she continues to go through, and then like the whole thing with the white cloaks, and then like having to be megged in and blah, 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 or whatever. Like all of that sucks. So I was just pitching that we still do the Robin thing, and Robin gets Balefired, and so that brings Avienda and Matt back to life.
Right.
And maybe we think Morgase is killed and it brings her back to life, but maybe when she comes back to life, she's still under, like, the compulsion has gone so far back and unraveled so much of her, and the Balefire didn't take it back far enough, so that she's essentially just like lost her mind, doesn't remember that she's been manipulated, but maybe doesn't even remember that she's been queen. I don't know. I just have like a really sad story, and I was like, Elaine has to decide what
reverse Udo compulsion side effects.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have a really sad story for her. And Elaine, I can just see Elaine like holding her mom and crying, and her mom is like, "Why are you so sad?
Why are you doing
small
this,
girl?" I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just writing a horrible story for Morgase. But we also saw her. We saw her being pretty damn bad. Like, we saw her being pretty brutal. So, like, people aren't going to be as invested in her being.
Well, okay. And then my question is,
and we did give her some. I mean, that's what.
Why?
Because I don't know. Because I'm horrible.
No.
I don't know why.
What purpose is this serving the story?
Why? Because I'm not going to lie. That was one of the things I did not love about season 3. Is I did not love making Morgase to be this bloodthirsty person. And so my question was, why? Was this just to make us see that Elida takes no prisoners sort of thing? Like, what was the purpose of that is my question.
I see the purpose of that. In some ways, it gives Morgase agency that she's just never given in the books. I mean, like we see her like, oh, I'm friends with Elorian. Was it Elorian? And then like, oh, I had her flogged because Robin told me to because I was jealous of her or whatever. And like she loses all of her friendships. None of it is of her own agency. Like she just doesn't do anything for herself from a very early stage in the books. I mean, I like rereading them. I'm like, oh my God, she's under compulsion so early that and then she just becomes this like funneled from this where she doesn't have any agency to this where she doesn't have any agency to this. And we think we see her manipulating, not Bulwer. We see her manipulating whoever used to be. Thank you. Yeah. We think we see her manipulating them. And then he's like, nah, I got you outmaneuvered. And she's like, I give up. It's really sad. So I feel like this gives her. Do
you just want to? Shall we eliminate some of her later story instead?
Yes, I want to eliminate all of her later story. I don't want any of it. I really don't want any of it.
Then I don't think we need to do this brought back to life by the Balefire thing.
Well, I guess it's sort of like her. Okay, so when she abdicates to Elaine in the books, and nobody knows that she abdicates again, like it's just a really like. She's like, I've said the words. Therefore it's true. And I'm like, yes, no Talonvor. Thank you, LBF. Let's just like Talonvor's out. But I think when she abdicates in the books, it's also like Elaine doesn't know. Nobody knows. It's like, I did it in secret. It's real. It actually happened. I'm no longer the queen.
Matter.
But it doesn't matter because ultimately Elaine still has to go through the succession war. She still has to prove herself as a battle leader and as someone who could lead a nation. And so it doesn't even matter that Morgase does that. So if it happens in real time, if maybe she's killed and brought back and then like she can't even abdicate because she doesn't know what's going on and Elaine has to like essentially steal it from her mother or something. But I just think that or people see that she has lost her mind. So that's what kicks off the new succession war. Like I just think that there's just a better and interesting way to tell her story and to like phase her out. Maybe she gets killed and doesn't come back, but if she gets killed and comes back without knowing who she is, that really sets up into question who should be leading Andor and how can they be doing it. And it even like, that Elaine can say, I would know if someone were compelling me. Then that's not true. She actually got compulsed by him. So take that out. But, I just think I don't know. I just think there's something in there. I think there's something interesting in there. And I think that, like, to pay off both what Robin is doing and how it has lasting repercussions even after he gets Balefired out of the picture.
Okay, so
that's all.
Somehow pay off Robin's compulsion. We don't really know how yet, but...
Okay, I don't think she needs to die, though.
All right.
I feel like that's, like, some kind of temporary fridging, in essence.
Yeah.
It's not quite, because we're not doing it to motivate a man, but...
Yeah, but she's not going to give up her throne for anything, as we've seen. Again, like, why did Rafe do this? Rafe, I think Rafe wanted to show that she will do anything for this role, and it's not necessarily just about Andor. Maybe it is. I mean, she does it
Maybe. Okay, maybe. All right. So, no. Okay, we need... Because Rand turns up to Andor because he thinks that she's been killed.
Well, and let's also ask the question...
Right? And that's because she's run away.
Where was everybody headed at the end of season 3? Do you think they were headed to Caemlyn after Tom's revelation?
Everybody who? The girls?
The Wonder Girls.
I think they're just hunting down Moghedien, aren't they? Oh, no,
because they flee.
Yeah, they're just chasing after Moghedien.
Where Moghedien was.
Yeah, but they went after her because she took off with she has the bracelets.
They went after Leandrin, didn't they?
Yeah, sorry, I meant Leandrin. I mean, yes, but I meant like Leandrin has the bracelets, and so I think they're hunting her down. Okay. They're still hunting the Black Asha, I think. Moghedien included in that.
So I'm just sticking with the Ravin Balefire, Rand doing that. Mm-hmm. Rand went and attacked Andor, or Ravin in Andor, because of like him killing Morgase, as far as
he was told that he killed Morgase.
Everyone thought that because Morgase broke compulsion and ran away. So if we're going to have Morgase there and like something changed with her compulsion because of Ravin being Balefire, we need a different reason for Rand to attack Andor.
Agreed. And I also think that Rafe would have written out Rand's going to attack Andor just because he's sad for his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like it's not he goes because he's like, I'm going to avenge it for Elaine. And Elaine is frankly like, get the fuck, step, even in the book, she's like, step the fuck off. This is not your place. Let's not even talk about you going to give me a throne. So I do think that that's not going to be why he goes to Andor. So if he is going to go to Andor, I mean, okay, let's like, I'm going to rip off the Band-Aid, but like, we can say Matt died on the tree and not an Andor, like to die and live again. Like we could say it was from the hanging. And so
but
I don't know.
Is he going to hang from, not from the tree.
He hung
from
the
doorway.
From the door frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
sorry.
Here's a Rand Ravine not avenging Elaine, but still fitting in with Morgay's compulsion thing. How about Rand and Ravine have a showdown somewhere for some reason, which is not relevant to me, or not coming to me right this second. However, him bailfiring Ravine in that situation fucks up Morgay's running Andor. So she then becomes confused and fucking chaotic as the queen. So one of her, enemies basically kidnaps her, takes over, puts her away in a little secluded space. So she's like, I have my prisoner, my bartering for if Elaine turns up or something like that. I can keep, House Morgay's under control type thing, while I actually take over Andor instead. Then you have Morgay's confused, causing problems, sets up for potentially getting healed by Nynaeve or something later on, the issues with, all that sort of stuff. Then you have a reason for Elaine to come to Andor and be like, you took over from a sitting queen, there wasn't a proper civil war or anything like that, or her coming back to avenge. You don't have to have Rand doing any of that shit. You could have Elaine facing off against another house in Andor instead. And Morgay doesn't have to run off to the White Cloaks. She doesn't have to. None of that. She's a prisoner of one of the other houses, all right? Yeah. And maybe eventually you think she's died or something, and she reappears. But we don't have to have Rand being his stupid
So Robin bail-fired, confuses Morgase, kidnapped by
because he's doing so much compulsion on her. Yeah.
So kidnapped by one of the other houses, probably one of the ones that she killed.
That kicks off.
Probably one of the ones that she killed
someone
in that cold open.
Or just someone she's, really offended because of Ravine taking control of everything,
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we have set up with the cold open, Meg. I think we've set up 3 houses who are going to be not very, I mean, obviously the houses do it themselves because that's the whole point, is they're like sacrificing their head, their top female heir. I like that. I think there's a lot in here to mine, and I want to potentially add something else in there that I think Rob is definitely going to hate, and I think Megan, you're going to hate it too. But I'm just going to throw it out there to give us food for thought for next week. The other thing that we have set up in the show is a little more conflict between Elaine and her mother. I hate it already. No. Yes, you do.
No, sorry. You said it. Sorry.
Well,
more conflict between
in the books,
Elaine and her mom.
Elaine and Morgase. And when in the books, when Elaine comes back, she's like, I could fucking kill my mother right now for fucking messing this up so bad. Like, she's pissed in the book. She's like, and she doesn't really know about the compulsion with Robin. I think when she thinks that, when we're in her POV and she thinks that, but even when she's there later and she's pregnant and she's like warrior and she's got Brigida, she's still just like, I'm untangling the mess that my mom made. For whatever reason, like she just, I'm still untangling it. And, if we know that Morgase, what she has done so far, and she did in her own right mind, was to create these enemies of these houses when she sliced their necks. So there's that we've already set up in the show. That's different than the books. And then when she shows up to, she's like, you're coming home with me. You don't get to do what you want to do. I'm pulling you out of the White Tower. And Elaine runs away to avoid doing that, right? And Morgase
threatens that she's going to come onto Tarvalon with the entire Andoran army.
Yeah. Like, I'll turn back up with the army. You won't like that. So, yeah.
Right. And so there is there's a little more conflict between Morgase and Elaine, which I really like. And if there is some reason that Elaine has to wrestle the crown away from her mother because her mother is not serving Andor, she's serving herself in some way. And maybe it's partly because of the compulsion of Rob. And yeah. But if there is something where Elaine has to make the hard choice to depose her mother in a way.
Oh.
There's it
I kind of like that.
And it's I do too. And I
maybe
think
like
it's
some
really...
of the other houses, they're band together and be like, that's not how you become queen. Your mother's still alive. This is not right. You know, or you can't, there's a law that says you can't become queen because you killed your mother.
Yeah.
Maybe
or even like and she and
the
Elaine,
25th
I mean, at this point,
Amendment.
Yes, exactly. At this point, Elaine already knows her mom is being compulsed, right? In the show. Like, she's like, because who came to her and talked about Rob? Oh, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom has just told her. He's like,
That's
there's
what I
no
was
Gabriel.
saying. That's why I thought maybe they were going to Kaelin because of what Tom had said.
Well,
okay, now I understand why you said that.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. But I think that she's probably, Elaine, I think, is like, you know, she's very duty. So right now her duty is to chase down the Black Aja, but she's probably got that in the back of her mind.
As soon as I get a second, I gotta go check out Mom. Yeah.
Yeah. And if she continues to hear that Andor is like, bad decisions are happening and things are happening, they can continue to chase and then they can split up and she can go.
Different idea. Rand doesn't kill Ravine. Elaine kills Ravine.
With the balefire rod?
Yes.
Yeah, with the balefire. Or just with whatever. Yeah, with the balefire rod. Yeah, she just stole it. Yes.
Easy. Done.
Okay.
That's actually...
And then because she's not doing it right, she fucks up the effects of removing compulsion for her mother. Yes.
But
and then she causes issues at home. Yes.
And...
Rafe put this in there. I'm telling you, this is Rafe's plan. Uh-huh.
It's not necessarily Matt coming back to life, but Avienda coming back to life because she and Avienda are in a relationship.
Okay, Rafe set this up. You guys, look, he's going to be mad because he's going to be like, you're literally just spilling everything to the entire fandom
I
right
swear
now. That I was
we were not in the writers' room,
with.
everybody.
But this, you guys just hit it. You guys just nailed it. That is how he set it up.
A few years down the line, when we finally get this document finished, because let's be honest, we've been working on this for a while.
Oh, for sure, but we're having so much fun, so I can do it till the end of time.
Oh, we do. This is why we don't do it every week, because we're like, it could be a little dry week sometimes. But we do have so much fun with it. It could be chaotic as well. But eventually we will have this document finished. Maybe not every single scene of every single season written out or anything like that. But we'll have the
and then we need someone to get it to Rafe.
And then we just need to be like, Rafe, can you come and read this and then chat to us about it and let us know
points for how much we were right and how much we were wrong. I want to win.
We just want the cred. Yeah, we want to win.
That's the ultimate goal. One day Rafe will be on Freewheeling and we will go through this document with him. He'd be like, you're a pain in the ass because you got it right.
As much as Megan loves Egwene, you have some tendencies of Elaine in you, baby. I know. I want to win.
That's Egwene.
That's true. Yeah. That's a little above. Yeah.
But no, I like this.
But I look like Elaine because of my hair is that red gold hair or whatever.
This is true.
So, yeah.
You do.
This is true.
Yeah.
And I put my nose up
all right.
the
I love
really
it.
like this.
I love it.
I think this
Who
might
knew
be
we were going to get to the Morghese storyline today? That wasn't my intention.
Yeah. Well, that's because we're still padding out some of the character stuff. So,
and we're focusing on what the Forsaken are actually doing and like nailing down their jobs and like when they have to disappear. I think that's
and we have
anything that they touched is going to come up.
Yeah, we've put a couple of tempos in. We've moved a couple of things around. I think as we fill out more and more of the characters, we'll start filling out more and more of the seasons instead. You know, like it will lend itself the other way because like how much more do we need to add until we start getting conflicts of story, and then we just need to like tweak to wrap them up. But yeah, I like this. This is we've got
I also like
Nynaeve.
And I'm like, okay, I pitched that she's just gone and Morghese is gone. I'm going to add one more thing to it. I like what you were pitching, both of you. I think Rob, you said this and LBF said it too. So Nynaeve can eventually heal her. Like we've got Nynaeve potentially able to undo madness, undo compulsion.
I will put that under the Nynaeve section.
Yeah, and if Elaine, I'm going to the battle and I'm going to the generals and like we've been like, does Gareth Bryn exist in this world? Not for Swan, he doesn't.
Can she save Ruark then?
Oh, who Nynaeve?
From compulsion at the end?
Yes, please save save Ruark.
I'm okay
So
with that. I
Aviendha
hate
doesn't
that.
have to
I'm
kill
Ruark. I hate that so much. And she doesn't even know she's doing it. I hate it so much. I hate that so much.
Maybe she goes and she's like, I've got no choice but to kill Ruark because I've got no choice to do this. But instead, Nynaeve turns up, all right, and releases Ruark from his prison of the mind.
Yes, I need
and
that.
that is the distraction needed in that moment so that they can take out the rest. And Ruark survives as a result. And Aviendha's like, I wish I'd known how to do that. And Nynaeve's like, well, that you're not a healer. I am. She could be a little arrogant at that moment, didn't she? Because that's very Nynaeve.
Also, she can. She's allowed to at that moment.
Exactly.
She's allowed to.
At that moment, absolutely, she would be. Yes.
If we're giving the Red Veils a whole shit ton of stuff, we need Ruark.
Yes.
If we're giving the Red Veils their actual pushing their element bigger than just what it is in the books, then I think we're going to need Ruark healed as a general. Like we've got our human general, we have our Westeros.
Western, what are you doing right now? Like, what was in that latte? I thought I was the one drinking an 8.4.
Help me. We have our Wetlander generals. There we go. We have our Wetlander generals who don't know how to fight the Red Veils. So if we're going to give the Red Veils, and I know the Red Veils are channelers too, but like if we're going to give the Red Veils something to do that's like Aiel level battle, because they are the best like cavalry, they're the best foot soldiers in the world, and if we have them recruiting Dark Friends, recruiting whatever, or Shido or something, but if we have the Aiel like really fighting at the end, we need Ruark to be healed. And
I have an emotional connection for Ruark here that I want to throw in. That I want to add.
Okay.
I suppose it's two-pronged because the second bit came to me as I was thinking about it. So firstly, I want one of the Red Veils to be Ruark's brother. His brother ran off because he found out when he was younger he could channel, and Ruark obviously didn't think anything of it. And then, Ruark's got to face his brother in battle. But as part of that, Ruark, during the last battle, takes the male channelers from the Aiel societies that have no longer run off to the Blight, and instead have taken some training of some kind, all right? And Ruark leads them into battle
of the
against
Black Tower?
I mean, they don't have to be a section of the Black Tower. Maybe one of them came to learn and went back and taught things, or they exchanged. I don't know, something like that.
So there is some new society by the Aiel that's channelers.
Love it.
Well, yeah, like all the wise ones become, all the female channelers become wise ones in the end, don't they? Like they don't skip them out.
And there's no reason to send the men off anymore.
No reason to send the men off, exactly.
Right.
So we've kept them
that is just
somehow
kind of like
either
a
from the
plot
tower.
hole that nobody ever mentioned.
I'm not sure it's a plot.
Like what happens?
It's
to
just
male
it's
channelers.
kind of just
think
ignored
that because
isn't it,
there's all of these like male channelers popping up in every other society, and nobody mentions anything about any Aiel channelers popping up, right?
That's not true. One of Aviendha's kids. Aviendha's kids are not all women. She's got sons and they can channel.
Well, no, I'm talking about it. Not in the columns, but like in the.
No, someone asked about it because that's. No, they ask about it. What happens
someone
if
does
you have
say.
a male
Someone
channel?
says what happened.
No, someone asks
they
about
take
it,
they
but
run
we
off.
don't see any. Like, in the span of, like, what we're reading, within the perspectives of everyone that we're reading.
Well, unless it's a named character in a scene that's happening right then and there, why would you?
No, but
You'd
it's
be adding a scene
like,
of being like, so Rand was just sitting there one day and suddenly this male Aiel got up and with his tools and just ran off and be like, where's he going? Oh, off to the Blight. He's a champ.
But that's what I'm saying.
You just
like,
add
I
a scene
feel
just
like
to say.
that's a missed
But by
opportunity.
saying... No, because by saying in the books, like, what do you do? No, but they literally say in the books... What do you do if you have a male channeler? Like, that person runs off to the Blight to kill the Dark One.
Yeah, but then
we never see
then
that
actually
happen.
But why do you need to see it happen?
Well,
I'm saying why
in the book.
I think I'm having a third conversation.
So what
I am the third wheel in this
we're
conversation.
Seeing male channelers pop up in every other society and go join the Black Tower. Yet in the whole span of the series that we witness, we don't see any male Aiel channelers pop up. We just hear about what they've done, not what they're actually doing at the present time.
No, in the rest of after that one mention, Aiel male channelers just never exist.
That's
fair.
a problem.
So two thoughts. One, Sheriam actually is the one who posits, are we culling it out of the society by continuing to, like, gentle channelers
Sheriam
before
or
they can
Varen?
have kids or whatever. So maybe it's Varen.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them.
But no, I think Sheriam says it first.
This doesn't seem like a
LBF,
Sheriam.
So anyway, regardless. Okay, so somebody says that. And so there is a possibility. I mean, we assume that with the Aiel, who are very disciplined, that there is no way they're being like, you can go get somebody pregnant before you run off to the Blight. They're like, and the Aiel are duty bound. So they're like, I channel, I go to the Blight.
Yeah.
A. B, what we don't see though, this is so one, like I can see that they've been culling it slowly, and there aren't as many male channelers popping up in the Aiel. However, because they've done a better job of culling them. Well, aside from the Shanshan, who've been doing a very good job of it. The second thing though is that I do think that Rand cleanses. I mean, Rand and Nynaeve cleanse the taint so early in the series. Nobody believes him outside of, like,
Right.
everybody's like, did you really? Did you really? It seems to me that the Aiel would be like, if you said you did, you did.
Right.
And so in that moment, from that moment forward, anybody who manifests the power, who would be young, it's, probably, it's not puberty. I mean, Rand was 18. So anybody who's manifesting the power at that point, I would think would not run off to the Blight. So I agree with you, Megan. I think a society of those people being like, supposedly there's no taint. Why do I have to go after the Blight? And like, maybe they do start to create another society at that point. And then Ruark finds them or something.
Make a note there. Ask Pavara we'll think of some words, but ask Pavara about potential names for this society.
Okay.
So we have like Thunderwalkers.
Yeah, I like that.
We'll think of like a real world name we could call them, and then we'll see Pavara. Can you give us some examples of things we could use to give them an old tongue name for their society?
Yeah.
But I like the idea that they, that we've got Aiel good channelers, I suppose. Ruark decides to take up leadership of them in the last battle when the Red Veils turn up, and when he has that first fight against the Red Veils, that's when his brother turns up and goes, "Ha ha, brother, you thought I died," and he's actually,
Yeah. I like this. And I also think, we have already said, like, Elaine has a moment. It takes her a second to, like, not fall under Robin's compulsion. Nynaeve pushes back against Magedians. We've already said people who are strong-willed, doesn't have to be strong in the power, that people who are strong-willed have some ability to retain something of themselves. I've never, ever, ever bought that Ruark was hook, line, and sinker Grendel's. I just like, that doesn't make sense.
Maybe
pick anybody else.
Oh,
pick
gosh.
Avienda's sister. Pick Cowind. I don't care. Just come on.
Imagine if he was compulsed by his brother. To like be
Why
his
are we
like
trying
second
to
in
make me
command.
so sad today?
No, but then Ruark gets saved by Nynaeve. And then that's the moment where he's no, because if he does get compulsed and becomes his brother's like second in charge, and Avienda's just like, because we need to take down these Red Veils, all right, she's there with channelers and this and the other to like really decimate it. If in that moment Nynaeve actually heals Ruark of compulsion, he can then, whilst his brother thinks he's under his control, can like stab him in the back or whatever, kill him, and that will suddenly disorientate all the Red Veils, and then the rest of the channelers under Avienda just decimate shit. We've added this, ladies and gents, is how shit that wasn't in the books gets added into a TV show.
Exactly. I have some other ending.
I think Bjorn
choices
would
I
approve
want to
of
question.
this. I feel like Bjorn would really approve of this moment. So, yeah.
Okay. And LBF says it's only a few months from the cleansing to the last battle, but timelines can vary.
We can
mess
with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we could. Yeah. He basically starts. I mean, he starts blacked out before he cleanses, doesn't he? So he could probably say to the Aiel, "Look, rather than run off, you could start to learn, and If it gets crazy, it gets crazy.
But I could see the Aiel being like, "You don't have any safeguards over there at the Black Tower, so no, thank you."
Yeah, we'll do our
and they'll say, because an Aiel channeler to them, they'll be like, an Aiel channeler is far more dangerous than some Wetlander channeler. That's the way they would see it. Yeah,
I like this.
Yeah,
we've done some good pattern. Do you feel better about this, Meg? Like Ruark survives, he's saved.
Yes,
he gets redemption because he's going to feel that his brother is now evil.
I don't think he
know?
would
Also,
feel
let's
toe.
just-
That's
let's
toe
just-
unnecessarily. No.
Let's just.
Ruark's
I think
not
we can. I
some,
think it's.
whatever
Maiden
maiden
of
of
the
the spear. Yes, that's what I was trying to get to with like unnecessary toe.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not gonna like. Yeah, he's gonna be like, I was out of my control. I didn't have control of it.
Yeah.
That's true. But I do think that there are some particularly tragic elements to the women's stories in our beloved series that we could temper. And I don't think
Yes.
that that's me being a soft-hearted wetlander. I think that that's me being like, why you got to give all the trauma to the girls?
Exactly. You know?
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
is war is traumatic for everybody. It's not traumatic
Yes.
just for oh, it's
But-
scary for women, but guys can handle. No, clearly not. You know,
Yeah.
like absolutely not.
And the only really like the most tragic man, I mean, the Ruark story is super horrible and tragic. I hate it, but it's also like it's not Ruark. It's
He
like,
doesn't suffer
It's not
for
even
it.
him. He doesn't suffer for it.
Exactly, yeah.
And then like obviously, Gawain is a whole other thing.
I mean,
you know.
that's just-
And I guess
eh.
Galad gets a scar on his face.
His pretty
It's so
face got
sad.
hurt.
He's so pretty face gets sad, but come on, whatever. And he loses a hand. Does he lose a hand he lose a
I can't remember that.
or an arm?
Anyway,
Like
we
from
can,
No, I
yeah,
think
we
doesn't
can
he lose
spread,
his arm
we
from
can
the
spread
elbow
things
up?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's fine.
but absolutely you're right. We can spread these things out better, and we can have, we don't have to have like men saving everything.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
men
we
can
don't have
save
to have men
things.
saving everything, and we don't
But
have to have
women
all
can
the
save
women
things
with all
too.
the trauma.
Exactly. you
Women.
know?
I mean,
Share
let's
the
go to
saving, share the
Egwene's
trauma.
line. Egwene says, "Let me do this. Let me do this." I'm as much as I hate Egwene dying in the book series so much. I'm not saying we should remove that because I don't want to take away her agency. She says, "Let me do
No,
this."
yeah,
she
I'm
says, "Let me
totally,
sacrifice."
I'm happy with
So,
like
yeah,
the way
I'm
she's
fine
like,
with
no,
that.
this is my choice. I'm going to go out. I'm going to do this because this is what I think is the right thing to do. What I want. I'm just like, yeah, that's great. Like, I don't mind that in the book at all. And the only one of the 6 dying or whatever. Like, yeah, okay, I have an issue with that because the same way we got to the end of Stranger Things and like, not a single kid died.
No.
Whoa! You still not watched?
I didn't
Sorry.
hear it. I didn't hear anything. All I heard was at the end of Stranger Things. But don't say a word. Leave it at that. La la la. Remind me not to listen to this.
Do
podcast.
not listen. I'll cut that out.
You need
I
that.
will cut
That
out.
should be our audiogram for this week. Is you starting to say something? No.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I actually will take that and then bleep
Can
what
we
I
also
said
just-
and then
can we
leave your
acknowledge-
reactions.
Yes. Can we acknowledge the fact that I said la 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 and actually tightened my earphones to my ears? It took me a second to go from like, oh, this is not helping to actually taking my headphones
Yeah.
off my head.
Sorry.
Let's just
How have
acknowledge
you two
my
not
lack
finished
of-
I
Stranger
finished
Things?
Stranger Things. She didn't.
Megan
I
did.
was saving her.
Oh.
She was saving me. You were saving
Right.
me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I do apologize.
No, I mean, look, I'm in the industry. If I can't, like, I'm fully aware that I deserve spoilers for not being on top of shit. So
No,
That's
it's
fair.
No, it's totally
That's
fine.
fair.
Okay. I think that's a good point to wrap it up.
I do too.
Before I spoil. I mean, Dumbledore dies, right? So. All right. Yeah, nice. I think we've added some really good stuff this week. So I really like what we've added to this. Do we have a water positivity?
No.
No?
No.
No, I didn't get a drink last night. No, I'm sure we do. I'm sure we do.
I do not. I'll just say it right now. I do not.
No, okay. I could.
I
if
mean,
you don't.
I could do a really cryptic one
I like that.
if you
No,
want to.
don't do a cryptic
Oh,
one.
no, never mind.
No, I'm like, no, don't, because people read into cryptic. I'm not
They
going to
do
let
read
you.
it's cryptic. This is true.
Okay, I'm not going to let you because I know what it is, and I'm not going to let you.
Yeah, you two know what
okay.
it is.
Yeah.
Let's
it's
just say
not
something
cryptic to
really great
us.
happened to me yesterday, folks, that I can't
Yes,
share.
and
but Meg and
yes,
Jen
and
know
don't
about.
share it.
Yeah.
Leave it off. Leave
That's
off.
it.
People
That's
will
it.
start to.
That's it. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just say something great. And leave
Okay,
it
good. Here's my water positivity. This is actually really good. This is good. So, a good friend of mine is she's a fellow writer, and she is bicoastal. She's like she's LA and New York, and so
Oh, cool.
when she's in LA, she's like, "Hey, I'm in town. Like, you want to do something?" So when I was a staff writer on the Lion Guard, I took over the office of somebody on Lion Guard who His name is Jack Monaco. I'll just put it out there. He's a friend. So I never met him on Lion Guard. And in fact, I never met my friend Elise on Lion Guard because they both left the show as I came in.
Oh.
And I took Jack's office and found out that he had written for Star Trek Voyager. And I was just like totally geeked out. And I was like, how have I not, like, how can I, I'm like, you know, like getting the juju from his office. I'm like, I want all your like live action and Voyager things. So Elise and I finally met and I was the new Elise on the show. She left the show and then we realized like I literally fit the exact same characteristics that she did. So it was really funny. I kind of took over for her on the show. And then she and I finally met and became instant friends, realized we had a million people in common. She actually is the one who connected me with the right people for me to get Little Ellen. Like Elise and I have only worked together a tiny bit, a few times, but we've become really good friends and we're really good about like, you know, putting each other forward and bringing each other up and trying to like help each other with, you know, just finding our way through the industry, even though we are literally the same person and like could do the same jobs. And so you would say we were competing for jobs, but we're not. Anyway, Elise is in town and she texted me last week and she was like, Jack is doing a concert with this choral group. Do you want to go see it? And Jack, who was in my office, he and I didn't meet for years in person until we had, like, you know, wait a minute. Oh my God, all of a sudden I'm like, was last night the first time I actually physically met him in person? And it might have been.
Wow.
Is that possible? Here's what's crazy. Jack and I have become really good friends just over text and through this whole Lion Guard community of like all the old writers who are now friends, even though none of us were there at the same time or some of us were not. And Elise called me up and said, do you want to go see Jack's show? And I showed up last night to go watch his concert and sort of surprise him. And it was just this really nice moment of lifting each other up in ways of like both supporting the things that we do outside of work. And then also while we sat there last night, just talking and me not getting a drink, we had this really just wonderful, caring, like, how do we get through the industry at this time? How do we support each other, holding each other accountable? And it was just, it's like, it's weird because these people who I shouldn't even know because we weren't on the project at the same time. And it's just kind of, like our Wheel of Time community, like people come together in these really sort of obscure, strange ways and find ways to support each other in some just really beautiful ways. And that's my Wada positivity. I was so lucky that Elise was like, hey, let's go to this thing. And that I showed up and I had this great moment and these great connections with these peers. And so, yeah, that's all.
I love that.
That's
It's a really
nice.
great thing.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Nurture your relationships, nurture your friendships, because they nurture you in ways you just never expect.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. That's really sweet. So hopefully next time
I haven't done one in a while. I have not done a lot of positivity in a long time. So
I think I've done one in the last 2 years. We've done one. So
I am usually the one that says water positivities. This is true.
This is true. This is true.
Yes. So yeah, that just means mine are pretty standard. And when Meg and Jen throw one at you, it's because something special happens. So you know, like I'm you know. I'm giving you the oatmeal, and then occasionally they're like, "Here, have some Fruit Loops," you know. So
we're just throwing it at people.
I'm joking. Yes, eat the Fruit Loops. Eat the Fruit Loops. So I only said Fruit Loops because I've been watching. I'm doing a rewatch of Big Bang Theory for fun. Even though some of it is really
I don't
cringy.
remember Fruit Loops.
Much like watching back Friends. And Howard's astronaut nickname is Fruit Loops.
Oh, that's right.
Because he was on a call with Massimino, and his mother was like, "Howard, do you want your Fruit Loops?" And it just stuck.
Yes.
So, and I say that was like last week, that episode. I'm actually on the episode. I've just watched 3 episodes that cover actually Howard's mother passing, which obviously lines up with the actress. But it just like, it was so heartwarming the way they sort of honored her in the show. It was really sweet. So
I loved Big Bang
that's where the
Theory.
Fruit Loops
I
came from.
did.
It is great. I do enjoy it. Like there's things in there that like any show of that nature where like everything's hemmed up, and you know the nature of someone being like just really interested in trying to meet a woman, like Howard is, you know, in the very creepy way, and you know Sheldon's awkwardness, and you know Penny just being a dumb blonde a lot of the time. I think, you know, things get
and Howard
up for
seeming
the
like a
humor.
predator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. He really is predatory in a lot of ways. but it's not written for that. It's written for,
Right.
you amplify people's attributes for humor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is a funny show, and I only watched the second, or like the last third of the show. Like I've only watched that once because I sort of faded out like seasons 8, 9, and then like the last 3, 4 seasons, whatever it is, I didn't really catch until once.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to get back to those. Anyway, that's where the Fruit Loops came from. So thank you for listening, folks. I hope you've enjoyed. This has been a longer episode than typical, actually.
I
we've
know.
gone through. Yeah, we had lots to talk about. So despite
We
the
do
fact
get
that-
excited.
Yeah, we do get excited. Yeah, I love the sharing of ideas and that. One day we will finish this, and then we'll get Rafe on, and he can tell us how we got like 90% of it correct,
And
then
we
the other
will
10% is like,
perform
I wish
all
we were
of
gonna
it
do that.
because that was really fun when we did that for What a Holiday.
That's a lot of writing.
Hey, we have all the time in
Maybe-
the world. It will be 10 years from now when we finally
my
get all of it written. So buckle up, people.
Oh my
We're
God.
in for the long haul.
I'm gonna Homer Simpson myself right on out of here. Bye.
Yeah, I'm like, I need, like, one of us needs to become rich so we can just pay a team of writers, I feel like I feel like there's some writers out there who might be familiar with Wheel of Time who could finish writing this, so. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed listening, folks. You can find us on social media. Find us on Blue Sky, which is threewheeling.malkiertalks.com, or on Instagram, which is 3.wheeling, which is where you will see all the reels of sound bites from the show, but Meg's awesome cocktails. I also now
Gorgeous
post them.
videos. Love them. Love them.
I also now post them on my TikTok. I try to each time. So obviously there's many to catch up on. But now I'm currently posting the ones that appear now on the TikTok, which is just go find Malky Talks and you'll find it. If you want to follow our individual accounts on Blue Sky, they're listed in the show notes below. If you are watching on YouTube, please, or listening on YouTube, whatever, please like, subscribe, comment, all those good things. Rate and review the podcast or wherever
if
you
you
are
rate
listening
and
to
review
us.
us, I check every once in a while, and if I see a new one, we'll talk about it. So
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to hang out and listen with us live, or watch the video recording back later, you can head over to patreon.com/MalkieriTalks and you will find the levels there. Listening to us live each week is just the base level. The video one's the next one up. So you can come enjoy those if you want to. But otherwise, we love.
And then you get to
listening
see how
us.
pretty Megan is.
And how pretty Jen
Yeah.
is.
or you get to see her put on her
make it
makeup
ugly face.
as we're doing the pre-show.
Yeah,
shit.
good. If you get there early, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
the really early, the makeup going on. And then what's the stone? Because is it like a type of
Oh,
stone?
I
or
do. I
something?
didn't get the
You
stone.
didn't
to
do
it.
that
Wait,
this
is
week.
that where
No,
you're-
Yeah. What is that?
Is it a...
I just have this like piece of quartz. I have like a random piece of
So you're
quartz
doing that
on my
instead
desk
of
because
the
I like
roller
rocks.
quartz?
Yeah, I have a roller quartz, but I think Kyle stole it. So this is just a big piece of quartz that sits on my desk, and it's nice and
I assumed it was
cool.
like a makeup sponge, and you were putting concealer on. I did not realize it was.
Oh no,
quartz.
this is just a
After all
nice
these weeks,
cool
you didn't
rock.
realize
that-
it was she's just rubbing a rock on her face?
I did
It
not
just makes
realize
my
she was
eyes
rubbing a
feel
rock on
less
her
puffy.
face. No, I did not. Gosh, you're such a
Oh, I'm
hippie.
rubbing a rock on my face. It's not. It's just literally a piece of cold rock that feels good on my puffy eyes. It's not even that I'm
How
trying to
is
do
this
anything with it.
not
It just feels
going
nice.
with the words I just said? You are such a hippie.
What does it have to do with being a
I
hippie?
just-
this
Ladies
is
and
I
gents,
just
I
want
hope
to
you
feel
enjoyed
the
the
earth
episode.
on my
We will see you
face.
next time.
And at the Alanis Morissette concert, I want to feel the grass in my toes, and I want to lose my $100 pair of sneakers
Cut her
with
off,
someone's
Rob.
lawn chair.
Oh my god.
I don't want to know. Goodbye. Say bye, Megan.
Bye.
Bye. Say goodbye, Megan.
Bye, Megan. Once again, we've proven that even when you're the third wheel,
You can always find a place to fit in.
Join us next time
On Three Wheeling.
on three-wheeling.
on Free Wheeling.